Hello and welcome to episode 14 of Let's Talk Immigration. I'm your host, Curtis Morrison, immigration attorney based in San Diego, but a member of the bar for the state of California and District of Columbia. I'm with Morrison Urena. We have an office in San Diego, in New York. And we have remote employees that work throughout the country. Today, I'm going to give you a couple updates on what I'm working on, and then we'll go to Q&A, okay? First, I want to say that I have a profound amount of sympathy, and so does everyone on our team, for the victims and their families and their friends and community members of the tragedy of the earthquake in Turkey and Syria. I stayed up and watched that in real time online, seeing all the devastation, and I knew that the death toll was going to be a lot larger than they were saying in the beginning. And I just saw New York Times says it's over 12,000 now, but still growing, and just awful. If you are a plaintiff in one of our lawsuits and you were affected by that, let me know, because I want to make sure the government attorneys know about that, right? I want to make sure that we get every advantage for you that we can. But if you aren't, I still my heart's out for you. So, okay. First thing I want to talk about today, Naveed versus Blinken. Okay. In Naveed versus Blinken, the government has filed their motion to dismiss our case. There's two developments, actually. They filed their motion to dismiss the case, and I'm working on an opposition to that motion. Another one of the plaintiffs has been scheduled, so that's 2 out of 10. We've got 8 to go. We want a procedural order in that the judge issued an order saying that the government is not relieved from their obligations under Local Rule 7N. That means that they have to file an index of the administrative records for the unlawful policies that we are challenging. I threw in the word unlawful just for the policies that we're challenging. We got a little press on that development. I was happy to see that. Law 360, which covers lawsuits, did a story about how the U.S. Department of State urged a D.C. federal judge to nix, that means cancel, to dismiss the lawsuit, claims that it was slow-walking scheduling visa interviews for Pakistani American families, saying the couples couldn't force the courts to second-guess how the department allocates limited consular resources. Basically, the motion is not brilliant that they've written. I've already been working on the opposition, and I think we have a really good chance of beating it. So anyway, that is happening. With the ICE lawsuit, amending the complaint, not this week as I hoped, but next week. But if you're not participating already, I can't add any more plaintiffs. That's slowing us down from moving on with the case. I have learned that the federal branches division of the Department of Justice is who is going to represent the government in that lawsuit. This is the lawsuit about the data breach, where ICE published personal information for 6,200 asylum seekers. The government is using the federal branch division of the Justice Department to defend this case, which will be interesting because usually cases that involve immigrants, it's OIL, the Office of Immigration Legislation. litigation, immigration litigation, oil. And those attorneys in oil, they're smart and they fight to the death against immigrants. They don't always take that job realizing that that's what the job is, but that's what they do. This is a different division, so maybe they'll do something different. My hope is that they realize that what they've done is wrong, and they'll work with us to make it right, and that lawsuit can go away. Basically, it only impacted 6,200 people and their families, I guess. It would be nice if ICE released them all from custody, reconsider their asylum claims with the presumption that they created danger, because they did. And I think that would go a long way to making things right. But also they need to pay damages. They know that people need attorneys as a result of what they've done. They know that people are going to need added security. Like, some people are going to be looking over their shoulder their whole life. And so it's got some actual cost. So they need to come forth with some money too, which they can. The United States government, right? So that's the ICE lawsuit. I can't remember what else I was going to talk about, but I see I got lots of questions. Oh, yesterday had the coolest meeting. Had lunch today with Good Luck plaintiff that traveled, on a B1, B2 visa, because Good Luck plaintiffs, DVs, you could still get visitor visas, right? To visit California. And he was from Algeria, and we had a great time meeting up and talking about his case. And he let me take his picture with him, but he said, next time I need to hold the green card, right? So it's funny. He traveled all the way from Africa to remind me, don't forget about Good Luck. But he didn't have to. I'm not going to forget. Okay, let's cut into questions. So Mustafa says, after all this time, can we travel to America? Please help DV 2021. No, you cannot travel to America until you're issued a visa. Okay? If you say DV 2021, I don't know if you're Good Luck or not. I think you're Good Luck. The name looks familiar. If you're Good Luck, you already know this. You have to wait for the opinion from the Circuit Court of Appeals, and then you have to wait for summary judgment. That's the procedure. There's nothing I can do right now to overcome that procedure. Welcome, Omar. Omar asked Mr. Morrison, if JM, he means Judge Mehta, increases the visa, can the government appeal that? What Omar's asking about is, in the Good Luck versus Biden lawsuit, we asked in our motion for summary judgment for the number of reserved unused visas to be expanded from 6,914 to a number closer to 10,000. There were math reasons for that, and there were logic reasons for that. And I think we made very compelling arguments for that. Those arguments, Judge Mehta will consider them when he issues his order on the motion for summary judgment, and the cross motion for summary judgment. Can't remember if it's the motion or the cross motion. Anyway, the question is, can the government appeal that? Yes, the government can appeal the Judge Mehta's order on the summary judgment. So in a way, it's a double-edged sword if Judge Mehta increases the number of visas, because it gives the government another reason to appeal the order. However, I think Judge Mehta is tired of all this appeal stuff. I don't think he will give them a stay if they decide to appeal it. So even if they appeal it, that doesn't mean that they can't issue the visas. So don't worry about all that yet. Let's just wait until we get to the next stage. Okay. Abdulqadri says, hello, Curtis, and hello, everyone. Hello, Abdulqadri. I think someone's using your photo. I could be wrong, but I'm seeing your photo more than one place. Maybe you're talking to me in more than one place. Hello, Mr. Morrison from Egypt. The same question. Good luck news. Yeah, I don't have any good luck news. DV 2020, I do not have any DV 2020 news. I do not have any DV 2020 news. Any update on good luck? I do not have any update on good luck. DV 2020. I know you are out there. I'm not going to keep it a secret when I have news. Okay. Okay, Boomer. I had a doggy named Boomer. He was so great. I have a nephew whom I filed DV 2019 as single because I didn't have his family photos. He doesn't speak or understand English. He won. I filed DS paperwork as single. There's not a question here, but if he's a DV 2020 selectee, you would have filed the entry in 2018, not 2019. So I don't know what DV year he is. If he's DV 2019, his journey is over. The way you tell what year, fiscal year, a DV is, it's the first 4 digits of the case number. So Boomer, I have 2 follow-up questions for you. What is your question? And what DV year is your nephew? Mr. Varzari says, good afternoon, Mr. Morrison. When you have time, please let us know if there is any news with reference to DV 2021. Best regards. Well, Mr. Varzari, 2021, if you're DV 2021, that doesn't mean that your journey keeps going. Okay? The only journeys that continue for DV 2021 are good luck plaintiffs, go plaintiffs, are DV 2021 selectees who were waiting on interviews from certain embassies in the Schengen area, Africa, China, and Brazil, because they're protected from what's called the Ray order, okay? When people ask me generally DV 2021, I have to give all that caveat. If you're in a good luck plaintiff, say good luck. Okay, DV 2020, say Gomez. You're a Gomez class member, Ahmad. I don't have an update. How many more people are going to type DV 2020 or 2021? I'm just getting a feel for how we're going to spend the hour here. I do not have an update. Okay. Boomer says, because I was desperate and afraid he would be disqualified if not, he didn't listen to me and filed sponsorship after about 6 months to bring his wife and son. Oh, okay, Boomer. I hope that's not your real name, because you're admitting that you defrauded the State Department on live, and that's not the purpose. When I decided to have a live stream channel, it wasn't so that people could come forward and admit that they did bad things. Your nephew is probably got a bad road in front of him, and his wife and son probably will not be able to immigrate in the near future, or ever, because of this thing that you did. You can't make misrepresentations to the State Department, ever. First of all, they already know. And then if they miss something, which I guess they did here, what's he going to do? He can't come out and say, oh, I'm petitioning my wife and son, when he already told them he didn't have a wife and son. The only time that you could get away with that sometimes is if you wait to be a U.S. citizen. There's a lot of Yemeni visa applicants in this situation that made misrepresentations because they thought they had to and they didn't. And so they are smart enough. They don't file a petition while they are vulnerable green card holders. They wait until they are U.S. citizens, because once you're a U.S. citizen, they can't take that away. But good luck trying to become a U.S. citizen when you tell them that you committed fraud to get the green card. So your nephew is in a really rough situation. I don't have a solution for him. He needs to not talk to you anymore, because you filled out his entry wrong. He needs to talk to an attorney, but he's coming in at the end where he should have talked to the attorney all along. Hello, Fahim. Faisal says, there's cases that have been waiting for a decision from a circuit court of appeals since 2021 that got us a bit concerned about our case. Is it possible it can take more than a year or more? Yes, it can, Faisal. Momin says, I'm a plaintiff in Good Luck lawsuit and my passport will expire on 11th of October 2023. When should I renew my passport? My recommendation is to renew it now if they let you. As soon as you can renew your passport, you should renew your passport. My passport's over there and I need to renew it because I think mine expires October of 2023. And you don't want to wait until there's some kind of national emergencies, another COVID thing where they close offices, or, a lot of people in Afghanistan wish they had renewed their passport when the passport office was open, right? And then they ended up without valid passports and created new challenges. So always have a new renewed passport as soon as you can. So I'm going to follow my own advice. After this call, I'm going to put that in front of me and figure out how I can renew mine. But yes, renew. Because for those of you all that don't know this, you cannot be issued a visa and a passport that expires within 6 months. So the only way that passport works that expires in October 2023 is if you're issued a reserved Good Luck visa before October -6, which I think is April. And that's getting to look, it's February. That's 2 months from now. That's getting to look unlikely, right? So just go ahead and renew it. Oh no, Boomer came back. Finally, when his wife, they went to interview, U.S. consulate denied them visa. Is there any hope they would give this family visa? No, there is not. Will the U.S. government give a problem to become a citizen? Yes, they will. I just saw a case where they denied naturalization for this exact same reason. They didn't deport him, which they could, but they denied naturalization. It's an unfortunate situation. There's one thing that can be done if they get a member of Congress to sponsor a standalone bill just to solve their problem. But the way to do that, you have to be like an exemplary member of the community, and you have to have a really good relationship with your member of Congress. And then everything has to fall into place for that. It's, I think, I don't know, they do like 10 or 20 of those a year now, max. I've never done one, but I've talked to people who have done them. But it's an I hope everybody learns from that problem that we just discussed that Boomer brought to us, right? Do not make a misrepresentation of the State Department on your DV entry. Do not make it. Good luck, plaintiffs. Gomez class members. If you're going to a visa interview for a non-immigrant visa, for a student visa, or a tourist visa to the United States, or a work visa, tell the truth, okay? Do not. I had somebody the other day that was a plaintiff that has an immigration path, but misrepresentation of the State Department. And so now they got a refusal code that prevents them from entering the U.S. without a waiver that we can't get. So, had a path and sabotaged the path. So you have one job right now, good luck plaintiffs and Gomez class members. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything to stop you from having a path. Okay. Sawat asks, we can think there's hope for DB 2021 when they're good luck. I certainly hope that there is. Yes. It would be premature to give up hope. Hello, James from Liberia. You were 11 minutes late today. I don't know what I'm going to do with you, but hopefully you'll be a guest soon. Okay. Arthur from LA. Hello, Arthur. You called me several times about your mother-in-law. She's in good luck. What happened? Why don't we see the decision of the appellate court? When will this circus end? Okay. You don't see the decision of the appellate court yet because the appellate court hasn't made their decision, first. Second, the court system is not a circus. The appellate court, this is how long it takes to write law, appellate law. It's not like they're doing anything wrong. If you have rage and you want to talk about a circus, that would be Secretary Anthony Blinken, President Joe Biden. That's who's appealing the orders we won before Judge Mehta and Judge Chutkan, okay? So careful with the word circus and appellate court in the same paragraph. I don't feel comfortable with that because the courts are our friends. They are not the problem. Andre asked the question, any news for DV 2020? No, Andre. James asked me to contact the Court of Appeals if it's possible. Well, James, I don't want to lose my law license. So let's do things the way we do them here in the U.S., where we follow the rules that attorneys do not contact the court out. There's a Latin phrase for this. Ex parte, where I contact the court without having the government there. No, that's not allowed. I could get in a lot of trouble for that. And it would not help, okay? By breaking rules, that doesn't help us. Patience. Yes, I know you're good luck, but you need to be DV 2021 GL, comma, P for patience. Okay. I think I just answered that. When you expect the final decision from the Federal Court of Appeals by Gomez? Allah, you used a verb there that is very important. You used expect. With federal courts, I do not expect an order on a certain date because federal judges have discretion over how long it takes for them to issue opinions and orders, okay? We hope, but we don't have expectations. I need people not to have expectations of our federal judges and let them do the best job that they can. So we hope it's soon. Archer said, we believed you. People entrusted you with fate. Okay, Archer, let's talk about what you believed. You believed that I would fight for you. I did fight for you. We continue to fight for you. But at this moment, it's a place where we need to be patient to get to the next step. Okay? Thank you. Omar says, what is your opinion of those embassies recently? They closed and now they're open. How they will benefit DV 2021 from it? And what is your view at these embassies for DV 2021? You're talking about DV 2021 as if all DV 2021 selectees have a future? I can't talk like that because it's not true. You have to either be a good luck plaintiff or a Ray eligible plaintiff. Also, I'm not sure which embassy you're talking about because there are a few embassies that fall in this situation, right? Havana was closed, now it's open. Kabul was open, now it's closed. Moscow was open, now it's closed. Baghdad was open, closed, now open. So what's at the heart of your question is the government deployed the DV cases from KCC already that are part of the litigation to the embassies. They're frozen, those. Don't contact the embassies about these cases. They've already transferred them to the computer systems at the embassies, but the embassies cannot access them. They're gonna have to run a code for that to happen. So, and they will not do that until we beat the appeal. So, since they've done that, though, the question for those embassies I just mentioned, Moscow, Havana, I think Kiev too, Kabul, Baghdad, Where were those cases transferred? I don't know. I asked the government. They didn't really answer. They just gave me a bunch of copy paste stuff from the website. Josh Press, who represents oil with the Department of Justice, he did that. And then when I pushed back, he acted like I was crazy. And I'm like, no, I asked you a question. You didn't answer me. The other counsel representing the DVs, like Gomez counsel, they take the position that we shouldn't push, that we shouldn't go back to, should push now. Okay. That Judge Mehta has a lot on his plate. He doesn't want to talk about DVs until after the appeal. After the appeal, it matters. So they think that we should put that issue on hold and not try to get that answer now, because it's a hypothetical answer anyway. It won't matter if we don't win the appeal. So that's what we've decided to do. We're going to wait until after we beat the Biden administration's appeal, and for good luck, and after we win summary judgment. And then at that point, we're going to push the government again and involve Judge Mehta if the government doesn't answer us on where those cases are deployed to. Because obviously, if you're a good luck plaintiff assigned to one of those embassies, you want to know whether or not your case went to that embassy or it went to another embassy. So I understand the frustration for people that were assigned to these embassies that were open or closed. But Secretary Blinken's State Department is not sympathetic to your situation. Okay. It's very unfortunate. Hopefully, he will be fired someday. DV 2020, please. Oh no, Faisal wants to talk about Boomer's question about his nephew. What if he gets divorced with his wife and gets married again with a new Marriage Act date? Still committed fraud, Faisal. He's messed up. I trust you completely, and I advise. Don't trust me completely, okay? I'm human, but I appreciate that. Thank you. On DV 2020, my documents still at the embassy for administrative process since September 2020. When I checked the visa status, I found refused. Do you think after appeal they process my visa? A great question. I think you are in a better position than a lot of Gomez class members because the embassy has already you've already had an interview because it says refused. So since you've already had an interview, you're one step ahead. So I think you have an advantage. You didn't say you had an interview, but if your SEAC says refused, you had an interview, right? So I think you have an advantage over some other Gomez class members. Yeah. When you say your documents, I'm worried if you mean your passport too, because if your passport is still held by the embassy, get it. Don't let the embassies hold your passports for long periods of time. They will lose them. Some of you probably missed this in the news, but when the U.S. government was leaving Afghanistan, the U.S. Embassy at Kabul kind of rushed, not unlike other times when U.S. embassies have left a country. They burned everything. Like they took trash cans, threw all the passports in them, and caught them on fire. They burned all the files because they didn't want the Taliban to know who the Afghans were that were dealing with the U.S. Embassy. So don't let an embassy hold your passport. Hang on to that thing yourself, or keep it in your deposit box or something. Arthur says, we are grateful to you. It's just that people have been living in hope for 2 to 3 years. I know. It puts me in a really bizarre situation because I don't know any other profession where an individual has to ask people to be patient for several years. I don't know. I wish it didn't take this long, and I hope that uncertainty is over soon. Oh, we got a question from Telegram. Wolfman says, what about bulletin? Oh, he's talking about visa bulletin. Can you move it? Can you move the visa bulletin? We are in the F2B category. F2B is unmarried children over the age of 21. Every month, interviews take place. 2,400 visas are given from the first month of May 2023. I think they will reach an annual limit. Dominican countries take the largest number every month, 1,000 F2Bs. I noticed that Santo Domingo, I think, is the embassy that embassy needs to teach the other. They had this huge backlog that was bigger. It was the biggest backlog in the system. And now they're doing more volume than any other. It's like extremes. First, it's like the biggest backlog, and now it's like the highest volume. I could tell why visa applicants get frustrated. Dominican countries take the largest number every month, 1,000 F2Bs. I don't think they're going to reach the annual limit. I haven't done the math. Of course, we're only 3 months into the fiscal year, October, November, December, January. 4 months into the fiscal year, so it's difficult to know, but it's 30% over. I don't think the focus is on family preference visas worldwide, so I don't think that we will meet that F2B. We may. There's already been a warning in the February visa bulletin that the F2As could go into retrogression in the visa bulletin, where people that are currently current F2A, spouses of and children of minor children of green card holders, that could actually be not current and add months or years of wait to people that have already waited years. Very frustrating. I'm sorry, I should just read your whole question. This country has a large number of requests. Is it possible to move a bulletin in the coming months? First, European countries in the F2B category, they do not have a backlog of applicants. That doesn't make sense. Unlike DVs, family preference categories are not based on region. There are some country distinctions for the Philippines and India and Mexico, I think China, but not Africa. But let's get to what I think your question is. What can we do to move the visa bulletin? I think the most important thing is visas. And we aren't seeing that right now. So not at the level that they need to issue them. So we need Secretary Blinken to take his focus off of tourist and visitor visas and student visas for just long enough to catch up and eliminate the immigrant visa DQ backlog. I don't know what that's going to take, but if you're watching and you're a petitioner and then you're in the U.S., make sure you contact your member of Congress and your 2 U.S. senators and let them know that this is happening, because that doesn't cost you anything. And a member of Congress or a U.S. senator has the ability to send an inquiry to find out the status of your case. And then when they give the status, they have the ability to push reply and ask a follow-up question. Like, why would Islamabad be understaffed when all the other embassies are doing okay? Why is that? I think it's important that when our government works wrong, we let our legislators know so our legislators can follow up on that and see what they can do to find out how we can fix it, right? So even if you're a green card holder, those elected officials are still answerable to you. Funny secret, one of the reasons they are is because they can take campaign contributions from green card holders, and they hope that you will be grateful when their constituent services help you out. That's me being cynical. It's true that green card holders can donate to a political campaign, but I don't think that's the reason. But anyway, I just want visa applicants to start using their members of Congress more. Oh no, Boomer, we're still talking about this. Boomer, stop talking about this. I'm scared it's gonna like get back to you, you know? Where's the best place to get visa interview for Iranians? Oh, this is a different question. Okay. Elderly parents, U.S. citizens, want to see their grown-up daughter who live in Iran. I'm not sure who the petitioner is. The daughter? Wait. Best place to get visa interview for Iranians, elderly parents, U.S. citizens want to see their grown-up daughter who live in Iran. I feel like I need to do a sentence diagram there. Let me just not look at all that and answer your question. 3 embassies that the State Department suggests that Iranians attend interviews: Ankara, Abu Dhabi, Yerevan. Right now, my favorite is Yerevan. Okay. I don't have a second favorite because Abu Dhabi has an awful backlog and also a focus on SIVs from Afghanistan. And I think Ankara is going to have some consequences and repercussions dealing with the tragedy that is occurring there and in Syria from the earthquake. So Yerevan is my favorite of the 3. If your family has mobility and you can get out of the Middle East and get into Europe or Barbados or San Salvador or somewhere else than the Middle East, that's better. Okay. Ann says, good night, Mr. Morrison and DV family. Hello, Ms. DV family. Okay. Will there be a lawsuit for a DV 2023 winner? I don't know. It's too early to tell. Well, actually, I've already filed one. Yeah, we filed one already because we had a situation where SEAC was blocking them, and so you have to get the procedure when that happens is you have to go to the embassy and get a PIN, give the PIN to the KCC. KCC unlocks the DS-260, and the embassy was ignoring the DV. And we tried everything, and finally we just sued them, and then they didn't ignore the DV. So we have filed one DV 2023 lawsuit already. We could file that lawsuit again if someone else has that situation. But as far as like a group lawsuit for DV 2023 selectees, I think we need to wait. Let's see what happens. Right now, they've only issued 15% of the allotted visas that Congress allotted of the 55,000, and they should be at 30% because we're 30% through with the year, right? 4 months, it's at 33%. So something's wrong. They're going slower than they should. Of course, last year they went slower than they should, and they still issued more than the 55,000 allotted by Congress. I don't know who allotted the extras. Maybe, I don't know. The State Department thinks they're above the law. That's something that's a little awkward, but is difficult to explain to people in the United States. The law says 55,000 visas a year, and the State Department does what they feel like. Can you see I'm a little frustrated with the State Department? They have been waiting to get visa interview spot in Turkey for over a year. Mandamus lawsuit. If they've been DQ for a year, come to us, $5,000. We file a mandamus lawsuit, and chances of them getting an interview would be a lot better, usually within 90 days. If they've already had their interview, our mandamus lawsuits are $1,000 cheaper. They're only $4,000 because they're very effective. Ann says, good things come to those who wait. That's usually true. Okay. Leah says, nothing news for DV 2021 Algerian good luck. Well, a little news. I met a Nigerian good luck plaintiff yesterday. And it was a very pleasurable experience. And I'm hoping that he doesn't go back to Algeria and say that I'm a jerk or anything. I don't know. We'll see. Grisilla says, hello, do we still have hope from Good Luck DV 2021? Yes, Grisilla. Let's see. Premature to give up hope. I'm in Good Luck, and I was asking about Baghdad specifically. Hi, Omar. Yeah, I understand. I'm confused about Baghdad too. I don't know if they sent those cases there or if they sent them to Doha. I don't know where they sent them. Also, I don't know where we want them to go, because the State Department is saying that Baghdad is open, but this visa statistics are not impressing me. Okay. Generally, the best thing for a DV to do is to be, whether it's a DV 2023 selectee or a Good Luck plaintiff or a DV 2020 class member, is do what you can to increase your mobility. Mobility meaning have visas to as many places as you can get visas to, like Schengen area visa, very powerful, right? If you could go to, if you get a Schengen area visa, that means you could do an interview at 27 different countries. So it doesn't matter if your country back home is, if the embassy closes. So that's something that DVs could be doing now. If you want to focus on a goal, is I've got a phone call. Okay. Let's focus on increasing your mobility. Get visas stamped in your passport that you can use. Omar says, the government told lies to Judge Mehta. When you tweet that page, they said our backlog was before COVID. But before that, they say all these things was because of COVID for DV 2021 and Good Luck case. How judge an appeal see that? The judges in the appeal are not looking at that. That is not one of the issues raised by the government in the appeal. The government is looking at the issues that are itemized in the statement of issues. If you go to our website, morrisonurena.com, you click on DVs and you go look at the case, the filings and the case. In the appeals, each of the appeals, Gomez, Good Luck, and Ray, the government filed a statement of issues. Those are the issues that the appeals court are considering. They're not considering whether or not the government told the truth or lied. That's not an issue. But you're right, the government lied. DV 2020, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 question marks. Eduardo, I don't know anything. If I did, I'd tell you. Hello, Victor. You're welcome, Artur. Udemy says, good afternoon, Curtis. Buenos dias. When will there be a definite decision for DV 2020? What must be done? Where must we go for justice to be done? What else must we wait for God? I cannot tell you when there will be a definitive decision for DV 2020 because U.S. federal judges are appointed by presidents for lifetime appointment, and they do not have bosses. Okay, they do not have like rules that they have, deadlines that they have to follow. They have to follow the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. What I'm saying is they have discretion over this. They take as much time as they need. They manage their dockets. They are in the best position to determine what order that they, of cases that they handle, not us. Okay, so don't blame the court. If you want to go for justice, you use the court. If you don't want to use the court, okay, but if you use the court, you got to play by the court's rules. Okay, so Faisal is asking about the refugee program announced by Biden called 5 Sponsorships or something like that. I don't remember the correct name. I do know the correct name. It is called Welcome Corps. It is an interesting policy. Isn't that photo nice? So basically, if you sorry, something's going on with my microphone today. It's Welcome Corps, CORPS.org. And it's .org, but it's sort of government. And anyway, that's the first step for your sponsor group. Now, the question I get is, can they sponsor an individual refugee? And the answer is they can nominate an individual refugee. That means they can put that person's name and say, hey, we really want this person. But that doesn't mean that it will happen. But maybe. I don't know. It's a new program. We don't know how it works yet. We are not representing, Morrison Urena is not representing people in that program. But I am intrigued by that program because it seems like a very compassionate response where communities can help refugees. And there are a lot of refugees that need help, and there's going to even be more of them. I can only imagine that these earthquakes are going to create refugees that we've never seen before. Like, besides Syria has the huge refugee crisis, but there may be refugees from Turkey for all I know. They've lost so many thousands of buildings, right? So where are these poor people going to live? Okay, I'm getting on a tangent. So, Faisal, I can't explain the program except for what I've said already. If you're in the U.S. and you want to sponsor somebody, your first step is get a group together of people in your community. Have to be in the same community. Can't live across the world, across the country, I don't think. And then the second thing is, you can nominate an individual refugee. Okay. Well, sometimes we don't get what we need. I know you need an answer, but the answer is federal judges do not have deadlines. And I don't know when you're going to find out the answer to the appeal. No one knows, and continuing to ask the question is not going to change that. If U.S. senior citizens give you $5,000, can you get Iranian daughter's visa interview soon? That's a very blunt question. We can do things that have caused that outcome before, like a mandamus lawsuit, but we can only do that under certain circumstances. Iranian daughter needs to be DQ, and you didn't mention whether or not she was documentarily qualified. I would want to know when she was documentarily qualified, what embassy she's waiting on, and email us. Is she documentarily qualified? When did that happen? Also the visa category. Okay. Okay. Boomer's talking about a niece who won DV 2020 who didn't join Mohammed, Fangjong, or Kennedy. Well, that actually didn't work out as bad as you think, because while we will not represent your niece in consular processing, She is still a Gomez class member, so she will have the possibility of getting a Gomez visa, one of the 9,095 Gomez visas, if we beat the appeal. Where are we at? Oh my gosh, 50 minutes. Arthur says, my friend's wife is a DB 2023 winner. Case number 20. Can you personally help, or do they have to be in a lawsuit? Okay, we're not filing a group lawsuit for DB 2023 selectees right now. You're not telling me what the problem is. Help what? Case number without knowing the country doesn't help me with the visa bulletin. The visa bulletin has regions and countries, and you're not giving me that information either. But basically, yeah, you can hire us. We represent DB 2023 selectees. Do we have a banner for that, maybe? You could go to our website and sign up there. We charge $1,000 to, I don't think that's the right banner. I don't know, maybe. We charge $1,000 up front, $1,000 when the visa is issued, and we don't charge extra for the derivatives. Yep, there's the website. It's on the banner at the bottom. And that was Arthur's last question. James says, please help me with the website. Which website is James talking about? I don't know what website you're talking about, James. Question in French and je ne parle pas français excellente. I'm not sure what that question is. Okay. Thank you for your answer. We will wait patiently. Great. Thank you. Will you be doing a second Islamabad lawsuit? So many of us still waiting. I don't know. The demand wasn't there when I did the first one. You know, I gave a month to sign up and only 10 couples signed up. So people tell me, do a group lawsuit, and then people don't sign up. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that one or not. But my commitment right now is to take care of the plaintiffs in our existing lawsuits, which would include the Naveed lawsuit you're talking about for Islamabad. But also we're trying to take care of our Sonny, Wilson, and Santos plaintiffs. Some of them are being scheduled, and we're trying to support them with that. And I'm trying to move along the ICE lawsuit that we do. So we can only do new group lawsuits when we have free up capacity by taking care of people in the lawsuits that are before us. Okay. I know we are impatient, but please, no one should contact the court. It will create a problem for us. Thank you, James. Very, very true. I want to have you as a guest so you can help me explain this to people. There are rules against contacting the courts, contacting the judges directly. I've had a couple people break those rules in the last couple of years. It's not been good. Please do not contact the judge directly. Boomer said his niece won 2020 case number around 47,000. She did not join any other lawsuit either. Well, she's still a Gomez class member if she completed a DS-260 and she was not issued a visa. You say she still has a chance. She's still a Gomez class member. Sabi says DQ is April 2021. Unfortunately, I don't remember your previous question now. Islamabad. We have a child together. He is missing his childhood. Also, I'm having a hardship to pay most of my child daycare. Church is helping me with that, so I can afford it. I'm sorry that you're experiencing hardship. Let me see if I can find the rest of your question and put it together. Oh, for a second Islamabad lawsuit. When you have a child together, I'm curious, send me a message because I'm curious if you're F2A or if you've got separate petition for the child or if the child's in the U.S. You could always do an individual mandamus lawsuit too. More expensive, but also more effective. So don't think that you have to wait for a group lawsuit. If you have the means, we'll file an individual lawsuit for you. Yes, that's a way to contact us. Abdurrahim says, don't you see that the government has only predetermined and processed 30,000 files and sent them to the consulate to cover the total visas reserved? I didn't see a mathematical correlation to the number of files that the State Department claims to have deployed to embassies and the number of eligible applicants. You are suggesting that the government's already decided who gets the visas. That's not possible because KCC can't decide that. Only consular officers decide who get issued visas. And as we know from statistics, what is it? 7 out of 10 people that show up for an interview get a visa, and 3 get told no visa because they're not eligible. They didn't do the forms right. They misrepresented something to the State Department. They failed the medical exam. They, lots of different reasons. So if what you're saying is true, they decided who the 30,000 is, well, then they would have needed to send 40,000 files. I think that 30,000 was, I don't know where they got that number. I don't know what's going on there. I've asked about it. We just have to wait until after summary judgment, after we beat the appeal, and then we could probably get the government to give us more information about that. But I agree that it's fishy. I just don't agree with your conclusion. These questions, but you all coming in fast. FOT. Okay, so the NVC's bar for an expedite request is a matter of life or death. FOT, life or death. I don't know what FOT means. Waiting for invitation to join your live. Gomez, if you could get with James, find him in our system and send him an invitation, he can join next Wednesday's live if he's available. I think he'll be available because he's been to the all 14 episodes. He's got perfect attendance. Yeah, the 15th, the day after Valentine's Day, February 15th. If you want to invite him, he'll be my guest. Sabi, child in USA. Okay, so child's U.S. citizen. It's one of my questions. So I don't know if it's an F2A or an IR1 petition. Don't you see that the government has only you typed that twice. Okay, that wraps up all the questions. It's been an amazing hour. Thank you for all the questions. Even if I sound like I'm angry, I love it when our clients and people in the immigration community ask the difficult questions that there's no reason to be scared to ask questions, okay? We all figure out things better if we discuss these things. So it's what democracy is built upon, right? Sharing ideas. So I really appreciate you all showing up here, or people that are watching later. Thank you very much. One more, I want to reiterate, my thoughts are with the people that are struggling in Turkey and Syria, and I hope you are okay. And that's it for this week. Have a good week.